It's a good week to read queer books. I mean, it always is, but there are new queer books out, and I'm gonna read them and tell you if they're worth it. Hi, I'm Alex, this is Pucksandpaperbacks, where I love to shout about queer and trans books, and welcome back to my series where I read my arcs. Last month, I read my Net Galley Arcs, and I'm back for this series. I'm hoping to do it all year long, and in this vlog, I am attempting to read 3 books. I am currently reading a book that is out today as I'm filming this. It is February 25th. B. Mullins Takes a Shot by Emily Duber is out today. I read 112 pages last night. That is how much I'm loving this book. This is a middle grade. It's comped as Mighty Ducks meets A League of Our Own. I've only watched Mighty Ducks. I haven't watched Our League of Our Own. I'm sorry, I probably should, but I'm the hockey guy. And this is so reminiscent of the Mighty Ducks movies. I am loving it. I'm also a big fan of the movie Sandlot. It's my all-time favorite movie. It's my childhood favorite. I am just getting Sandlot vibes. We're following 12-year-old B. Mullins. She lives in Toronto. Her dad is a big Leafs fan, and as a hockey fan, I am just cracking up at some of the things that are happening. If you know Toronto Maple Leafs fans, this book will speak to you. I think if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, you are required to read this book. When the gym floods at B's school, PE is cancelled. To combat this, every student is required to join a team sport, but B sucks at sports. She's never been good and she doesn't want to do this. Her friends end up convincing her to join the hockey team. Literally, these girls are ruthless. The one girl locked another on the school bus like to get her to join. And it was so funny because the little girl was like, I didn't have a choice. I had to get off the bus, so I just said yes. That is so Mighty Ducks. Oh my god. I am just loving this. It is sapphic. B is learning that she has feelings for the 8th grader, Gabby. She moved from Colombia to Canada, and she is talking about some of those experiences, but she's teaching B how to be a teammate and how to play hockey. Oh my god, it is so cute. I really want to just stop filming this so I can continue to read the book because honestly, I feel like I could probably finish it in a couple hours. However, The Sims are about to drop the burglar update today, and if you've been following me, hi, I am a big simmer, and I have been wanting burglars so badly in this game. I used to play it when I was like 9 or 10. We're not going to talk about that, but I am just so excited for burglars to come back in the game, so I'm gonna be playing The Sims a lot, and I really hope that it doesn't prevent me from doing this video. So that is the book I'm currently reading, and then I have 2 others for this video. Next is a hockey romance that I have been anticipating since the day it was announced. This is Shoot Your Shot by Lexi LaFleur Brown. You probably heard me talk about her once or twice. She is a former NHL wife. Her husband, JT Brown, he played in the league. I believe he played for the Minnesota Wild, and she wrote a hockey romance. She ended up blowing up on TikTok when she started debunking the inaccuracies of hockey romances, and I love her for that. So she was like, let me do it myself. Let me write an actual accurate hockey romance. And I am a big hockey fan, and I hate hockey romances that are inaccurate because Google is there. You can do research to look it up. I never understand why the hockey romances make no sense when I read them, and I just don't read them if the hockey's not accurate. I trust my hockey friends for recommendations. And last is a historical romance that I'm waiting for in the mail. Honestly, I keep seeing everybody opening theirs on Instagram, and I'm getting jealous. So I'm hoping it'll be here in a couple days. This is A Gentleman's Gentleman by TJ Alexander, who I actually read this month for the first time. This is a historical romance. I honestly don't know too much more, but when I saw TJ Alexander, I was like, okay, I'll do it, because I know that they are very respected in the romance space. I recently read their romance, Second Chances in Newport Stephen, and I loved it so much. Oh, okay. This is a trans regency marriage of convenience book. possibly. We're following Lord Christopher Eden, who is a man of unusual make and even more unusual habits. He prefers to live far from the prying eyes and ears of the ton, and would rather have the comfortable company of his childhood cook and his aged butler than the swarm of servants and hangers on. But Christopher's pleasant, if occasionally lonely life is upended when he receives word from his lawyers that according to his late father's will, he must find a wife by the end of season, if he intends to keep his family's fortune and the Eden state. Christopher cannot imagine a worse fate, as he isn't attracted to women. His chances of making a wife happy are slim. Furthermore, if his quest to marry has any hope of succeeding, he must move to London and acquire some more suitable staff. Enter James Harding, Christopher's new, distractingly handsome, if rigidly traditional valet. Oh! After a rocky start, the two strike up a fragile friendship amid the throes of the London season. A friendship that threatens to shatter under the looming shadow of Christopher's impending nuptials, and the secrets both men are keeping, with its heady combination of dry wit, slow burn romance, and nuanced portrait of trans identity. A Gentleman's Gentleman stands to transform the historical romance genre as we know it. It just sounds so good, and I know T.J. Alexander's gonna do a great job. If you don't know, one of my favorite books is The Queer Principles of Kit Webb, and it's just reminding me of that. Oh my god, I need this book to hurry up. I have the ebook on my Kindle, but I really need the physical copy right now. So let's all cross our fingers, hoping that it arrives today. But I am going to probably play some Sims, continue B. Mullins, and I will see you later. Hi, last night I finished B. Mullins Takes a Shot, and I loved it. This is Emily Dubert's debut, and Emily, great job! This was so good. Honestly, after I finished reading, I literally stopped and I just said out loud, Emily, amazing. Great job. This was great. I cannot wait to read more from her, and honestly, I hope she writes more hockey. I'm not sure if she will, but I would like it personally. Even just to maybe have a book of one of the other characters. We're following 12-year-old B, who feels like she's not good at any sport. She's tall, and so she was recruited for the basketball team last year, but her teammates did not show much sportsmanship to her. They were very mean and iced her out. Thus, this leaves her feeling like she sucks at sports. When the school's gym floods, each student is required to join a team sport to replace this. Of course, B is terrified, but with some convincing, B and her friend Celia join the girls' hockey team. The hockey was really well done here. You can tell that the author grew up playing hockey. She mentions that she played women's hockey, and like B, she played in middle school. This book talks a lot about women's sports, and I really appreciated that because it talks about a lot of facts that I personally didn't know. I'm very new to the PWHL, and honestly, if you want to get into hockey, especially women's hockey, I highly recommend the PWHL if you want to support women's hockey and just get into hockey, because honestly, as somebody who's been watching the NHL for over a decade, it's better. It's so accessible. As you saw in my B-roll, I was watching a game and it's on YouTube. Every game is live streamed on YouTube as well as televised some way. I don't really know much about the televised part because I'm in the United States, so I watch it on YouTube. I'll drop a link down below. Y'all, this is incredible. I love the PWHL so much, and honestly, because I'm so dedicated to watching the NHL, I don't get enough time to watch the PWHL, but I have been watching it a little bit more. I don't know everything. I don't know many of the players or the lore, but I'm getting into it and I'm obsessed. I just think it's so great and way better than the NHL. I will criticize the NHL any day of the week. There are so many problems with the NHL, so I really enjoyed that we got to learn more about women's hockey, and any kid picking this up will learn that as well. It talks about how unfairly paid they are and the comparisons to the NHL versus the women's hockey. It also talks about how women's sports are not as popular. B quickly learns how underfunded girls hockey is versus the boys. The boys team has new equipment, they have longer ice time, etc. Whereas the girls hockey team are completely underfunded. They have to do fundraisers to be able to pay for ice time. But B has never played hockey. Her dad is a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and her brother Tyler plays, which I was like, why did they never teach her? I don't understand. Especially Tyler, why did he never teach her? But she meets Gabby, who teaches her how to play, and they have a cute little fling and romance. I thought it was so cute, especially that it was subtle and there was no coming out moments. I really appreciated that. There were so many natural moments where Celia's like, do you have a crush on Gabby? And you see that B is just nervous to even say that. It's nothing about her hiding her sexuality or anything. It was totally normalized, and I really appreciated that. Celia has two moms, and there is just open queerness all around, which I really appreciated. There is a really fun scene where they go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I really appreciated that. This is just such a good hockey book. I really appreciated it, and I loved getting to know more about women's sports and just seeing women's sports highlighted. This was so fun, and I highly recommend it. I'm gonna be recommending some middle grade this month for middle grade March, so you'll definitely see this book again in a future video. Thank you so much to Random House Kids for sending me a copy through Net Galley. This was one of my most anticipated releases and it exceeded my expectations. I was chuckling at some of the hockey jokes, especially that there are several digs to the Toronto Maple Leafs fandom and how they never go past round one of the playoffs. Oh my god, I was laughing so hard at those moments. So yes, I highly recommend this to all of my hockey fans, but also just to everybody because this was so sweet, it was so wholesome, and I really appreciated it. I cannot wait to read more of Emily's work, and again, I hope that she writes more hockey because it was very good. As B is learning hockey, you're able to teach the reader certain things. I really appreciated how detailed the hockey was, especially for people that may not watch hockey or play. I appreciated that she took the time to be very detailed as these girls are learning. The reader may be learning as well. I really appreciated that. And now on to the next book. It's noon and this morning I started Shoot Your Shot and I'm loving it. I'm going to have to get past the cheesiness of the book. I know it's the author's intent to have cheesy writing because she's trying to mimic hockey romances. I just need to not take it too seriously. I love books that are written by hockey people, fans or players, because they just get it and the humor speaks to me. There are just so many references and funny jokes that unless you know hockey, you'll understand. A recent line that made me laugh says, "She's got the glare of a fourth liner fighting to avoid a demotion to the minors." Of course, this is an arc, so this might not be in the finished copy, but I really appreciated this line. I cannot wait to read more of this. This is literally one of my most anticipated releases, and I'm so glad I'm enjoying it so far. I just know the cheesiness is gonna take a little while because I am a literal thinker, so sometimes when I read romance, I just have to step away a little bit and just let myself enjoy it. But that is it for now. I'm really glad that I'm reading another hockey book in this video because it gives me a reason to show off my hockey shirts as if I don't wear them in every video anyway. But today I'm wearing this masterpiece. This is Scott Lawton and Gritty's collab shirt that they did, and the proceeds go to charity. I think it's like the animal shelter it goes to, but Scott is literally one of my favorite players. He's such a great advocate for queer people in the sport, and I love him so much. And there are rumors that I think might end up becoming a reality. If that's true, I will have seen 3 of my favorite players get traded in one season. This season, my favorite AHL defenseman, Ronnie Attard, a sweet Michigan boy. Joel Farabee, you probably heard me talk about that a couple weeks ago in one of my vlogs because I was distraught because he got traded like in the middle of the night. I'm still recovering from that. And now my favorite LGBT ally, Scott Lawton, you're gonna take him from me. It's just not fair. So maybe I shouldn't actually convince you to watch hockey because it's the worst. Being in the hockey fandom is the worst because then you get a favorite player and then they get traded. It's just, they're so easy to get attached to because they have sweet personalities and they're goofy, and then they get traded and then you're crying at midnight. So listen, you came for books about hockey. This is going to happen. And also on my channel, this is going to happen. So subscribe if you like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go and I will see you later. Hello, I am 50% into Shoot Your Shot, so I figured I would update because I have been having a wonderful time. My cat Leo is right next to me, so you may hear some purring. But let's chat because I want to gush about this book. Basically, we have a one-night stand situation between a hockey player who his career kinda died and now he got a second chance, and by some miracle he was able to secure a spot on the NHL team in Seattle. Therefore, the girl he met, Lucy, is destined to be his good luck charm. One thing about hockey players is they are so superstitious. There's some that have to be the last guy on the ice at warm-ups, or they think they'll have a bad game. My favorite player, Claude Giroux, he had a ritual where he would only eat grilled cheese before he played. He doesn't do that much anymore because he's a lot older, but when he did, it was hilarious. And maybe it worked because he did have some good luck. Jalen believes Lucy is his good luck charm, and they start to put a deal together where Lucy will send him good luck texts and he will do something for her in return. And so right now Lucy has quit her job and she's trying to find a tattoo apprenticeship. And I'm really interested in the tattooing because I actually want to incorporate that in one of my books I want to write. So it's really interesting to just learn a little bit about how the tattoo industry works. Honestly, I don't know if any of this is real because I don't know what research Lexi has done, but I can just feel the little intricacies that she's added to being a hockey player feel so accurate, especially some of the locker room scenes. There's also 2 rookies who keep chirping the veteran player Wells and calling him Boomer. There was such a funny scene because he was like, why do they keep calling me that? Oh my god, I was dying. I was cracking up. So far, I'm loving this, and as a debut, I think Lexi's doing a great job. I like the writing. Like I said, sometimes it can be a little bit cheesy, but I think she's a good writer. I'm really shocked, honestly, because I didn't know what to expect about this because it was her first ever book. She never really wanted to write a book before, so I wasn't sure how the writing was going to go, but it's really good so far, and I'm really impressed. Obviously, I care way more about the hockey side of things when I'm reading this, but I like both characters' voices and humor, and I think that they balance each other very well. It also makes me want to explore this trope more because I really like the aspect of having a one-night stand and thinking that you're never gonna see this person again, and then you just keep running into them. There were so many times that they started to run into each other and there was a joke that Jalen was stalking her. He wasn't, but he really was trying to get her to agree to this. So yeah, I thought I would update you on my thoughts since you saw some b-roll of me cackling and really enjoying this book. Now I'm going to continue to read, and I will be back once I finish. Hi, last night I finished Shoot Your Shot, and I already miss it. I thought Lexi did a great job with her first hockey romance. This is now one of my favorite hockey romances because it just gets everything right. As her first ever book, I thought this was great. Like I've said before, I liked the writing, and I really liked the characters. I didn't hate anything that they were doing. I didn't think anything was too much. However, the third act breakup kind of puts me off a little bit, but I understand why. Yes, she does have some first-hand knowledge. She actually played as a goalie and obviously is married to JT. In her acknowledgements, she says that she asked JT a ton of questions, having him recall places he stayed at and just little things. In terms of hockey, I thought this was perfect. Definitely going to be a hockey romance I recommend to everybody when they try to recommend ones that I feel are not as accurate. But also, I wish that people would recommend hockey romances and share the diversity, because hockey is a sport that is predominantly white, and it's very important that we talk about the indigenous and black folks who have come before us and have made an impact on the sport. Specifically Willie O'Ree, he was one of the first black men to ever play in the NHL. I have a vlog that I'll link down below where I read Jordan Tutu's memoir. It's a short memoir. He was one of the first Inuit hockey players, and I think it is a disservice to make videos about hockey romances and not include people of color or even queer people. So if you are looking for hockey book recs, I don't even know if I have a video, but I probably do. Or this just means it is finally time for me to get on my pedestal and make a video sharing my favorites, because I'm getting really disappointed by a lot of people that make books featuring hockey romances and they're all white and cis, and it just really pisses me off. So maybe you'll see that video soon. But I do have an Instagram post where I recommend some hockey romances, so I'll link that down below for now. But yes, this was perfect. I thought it was so well done. And the end kind of bothered me because we do have a third act breakup. However, it did make sense. I just kind of wish she would have done something different, especially because so many romance books have a third act breakup. I kind of wish she had done something else, and maybe we had the conflict be somebody else. Our female main character, Lucy, has daddy issues. She tells us that on the first page, and we get to later on see her dad and learn about her family. We learned that her dad struggles with alcoholism, and he has ruined a lot of good things in her life. Particularly when she was a senior in college, she had an art showcase and something happened where her dad didn't show up and she ended up missing it, and she vowed to never paint again. He destroyed that for her. So the whole book is her coming back to her roots and learning that she wants to paint, because when she was in the mindset that painting was not for her anymore, she was never going to do it again, she was so set on getting a tattoo apprenticeship. But when she was on the road to get a tattoo apprenticeship, she really wasn't taking it seriously. I'm a sucker for artsy queers, so I really enjoyed this. Lucy is bisexual and her friends Maya and Cooper are queer. This book also explores mental health, which I really appreciated. If you saw my last video where I read Goaltender Interference, I mentioned, even though I wasn't a big fan of that book, I liked that it talked about important issues in the league and mental health, because I still feel like the NHL doesn't do enough for mental health, especially because of the talk around it. We do talk in this book about being called a bust. That is the most ableist shit ever, and it bothers me to my core, especially because one of my favorite players, Nolan Patrick, he was dealing with a lot of hate because he has chronic migraines. It pisses me off to no end. So I was really glad to see Jalen learning about depression and anxiety because he feels really guilty since his friend Cam died and he missed the funeral because he was so focused on hockey. And that is another thing about the NHL is you like don't get leave at all. You can be punished if you miss a game. However, I feel like in this instance, if he were to say he was going to a funeral, they would be like, okay, we get it. But when you're a rookie and you're trying to make it, those are unfortunately some things that you are going to miss because you have a shot at your future and your dream. So I really appreciated the incorporation of mental health, anxiety, depression. There is a panic attack on page. I just really love these characters. I did not want this book to end. I loved the epilogue, and like I've said, in my hockey romances, I love the teammates. That's the one thing I love about hockey. I watch hockey for the plot. I love the goofy boys and getting to learn about their personalities. It is so fun to me. So when I have a hockey romance, I want to see all the silly goofy boys, and we did get that here. This is a laugh out loud romance, and if you're looking for a hockey romance with accuracy, pick up Shoot Your Shot, coming out on March 11th. I'll have a link down below. It's an affiliate link. If you want to buy this book because of me, using my affiliate link is no extra cost to you, but it really helps me out. So if you want to buy any of the books in this video, please do so. And that is the end of this vlog. I've decided that I am going to just read A Gentleman's Gentleman on my own because there was no way I was going to be able to fit it into this vlog if I want to get it up on Thursday, because today's Wednesday and I'm going to a hockey game tomorrow. So you may see that footage in my later vlogs. And that's the vlog. Thanks so much for clicking on this video and spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the vlog, the best way to support this video is give it a like and leave a comment. Let me know what your most anticipated release is for the next couple months. If you don't feel like leaving a lengthy comment, you can just leave a hockey stick emoji because this video is all about hockey. If you would like to support me further, I have a Patreon. Thank you to my top patrons for their support. I am reading a hockey book this month for my top patrons. It's called Of Hockey and Hijab. I am about to read it and I can't wait. So if you want to support me further and watch some exclusive content, the link is down below. I have some free and paid options. If you would like to watch more, I just posted my February wrap up and you can subscribe there. I hope you're all taking care of yourself, and I hope to see you in my next video very soon. Bye.